New at 5, in less than 2 weeks, Alameda County will have a new district attorney following the recall of Pamela Price. Last month, the Board of Supervisors selected Superior Court Judge Ursula Jones-Dixon to fill the spot. KRON 4's Dan Kerman sat down with Jones-Dixon to discuss her plan for her first days in office. He joins us now live in the studio with details. Dan.
Well, Noel, Judge Dixon has spent the last 11 years as a Superior Court judge in Alameda County. Before that, she was an Alameda County prosecutor for 14 years. Soon, she'll be the one that is the boss of that office, and all eyes will be on her to start making some changes.
I'm ready. I'm excited to get started.
Alameda County Superior Court Judge Ursula Jones-Dixon is less than 2 weeks away from taking charge of the Alameda County District Attorney's Office. This after being selected by the Board of Supervisors to replace recalled DA Pamela Price.
My mother used to always say, if you're going to complain about something, you better be willing to do something about it. And that's how I got here. My mom's gone now, but had some real concerns about what I was seeing at the DA's office. Not that people didn't have good intentions, but that in practice, things were not filtering such that victims' voices were being lifted up and that they felt heard in this process.
Jones-Dixon is a former Alameda County prosecutor. She says one of her top priorities as DA will be to reverse Price's charging directives.
I know Ms. Price had a directive that no enhancements could be charged without certain levels of approval and of people approving of that. And so I want to remove that because I trust that the charging DAs know what they're doing and they can charge the cases appropriately.
Price campaigned and was elected on a platform of criminal justice reform. Yet it's the lack of enhancements and charges of being soft on crime and not holding criminals accountable that help fuel her recall.
I think people are begging with this recall for reasonable prosecution, reasonable policing, reasonable criminal justice system. They don't want us to cut the switch off altogether and not do anything. And they also don't think everybody should be in prison.
Jones-Dixon views the job of DA not as an activist or a politician.
As the DA, I'm still a public safety officer, and actually the top public safety officer in the county, so I have to be concerned about that first, which means I have to be concerned about what's happening to victims in the community.
Jones-Dixon says it's her prosecutors that are responsible for those victims, and that's why another priority of hers will be to evaluate her team as soon as she takes office.
This is the DA's office. Here's the work we do here. If you want to do that work, we will train you up and help you to get the best you can possibly be doing it. If you don't, we're going to find somebody else who can, because people are dependent on us to know what our jobs are and to do them as well as we can.
Jones-Dixon admits righting the ship and regaining people's trust in the office won't happen overnight, but she's confident she'll get there.
I think it'll take some time, but we really have still some really good people at the DA's office who know their stuff, and the hope is to get more back and just watch us work. That's all we can do is work. Watch us work.
Jones-Dixon will continue her work as a judge at the Juvenile Justice Center in San Leandro until the 11th. She's expected to be sworn in as DA on the 18th of this month. Grant, Noel?